Welcome back to another lesson, and this lesson we're going to be talking about a new type of control structure, and those are loops. Now there are two main types of loops, and that is the while loop and the for loop. But in this lesson we're just really going to focus on the for loop. Now a for loop is a loop that's going to loop over sequential objects. In other words, objects that have data one after another. Some example of these type of objects are strings, lists, tuples, dictionaries, and so forth. Now I have a sequential object right here of a list and it is a list of strings. Now we're going to loop through each item or element in our list and then we're going to print it to the terminal. And the way to do that is just by using our for loop. So now to create a for loop, we're going to type in for using this for keyword right here. And this is telling Python that we are going to be creating a for loop. So we're going to type in for, and now we have to go create a loop name. And this ensures that each element is going to have a name so we can actually use it in our for loop. So I'm just going to give it the name of sport. Of course it can be anything else. It could be item, it could be a letter, but we're just going to call it sport. And we're going to do for sport in sports. So for every element in our sports list right here. And then we're going to put a colon. And this is our for loop expression right here. Now we can hit return and now we're inside our for loop. So we're going to keep things simple and we're just going to print this to the terminal. Of course we could do a lot more, but we're just going to keep it simple and print it to the terminal. So what we should get is every element in our sports list printed to the terminal. So if I run and save this, that's exactly what we get. We have soccer, hockey, basketball, tennis, and football. So everything in the list has been printed to the terminal. So this is one good use case of using the for loop. Now let's go take a look at another very common use case of the for loop in action. And that would be using the for loop with this range class or this range expression right here. So what's going on is we have a class and it accepts two parameters, a starting index and a stopping index. So it's going to start from 0 and it's going to end at 10. So what we should get is 0 to 10. So if we run this, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And the reason we don't get 10 is the stopping index is always excluded. So if we wanted 10, then we would have to bring it to 11. And here you can see that we have 10. So that's it for the for loop. Now in the next lesson, we're going to go take a look at the while loop and how to use the while loop and the difference between the for loop and the while loop.